The weather is absolutely gorgeous today. It makes a change from the last few weeks, that's for sure. I don't know about you guys, but I've been in lockdown, as you all have, I suppose, for, well, the ones in the UK anyway, for God knows, weeks, months, and I just absolutely need to get outside. I've done all the local walks, I mean straight out the back of my house, over and over again, and I've taken lots of photographs. In fact, I took some in the snow and I'll put some up in a minute. But it's been very inspirational. I've had to take the same picture of the same tree. Again, I'm going to scream. So I've come 3 miles away. I've got no tripods, no filters, nothing like that. So it will really be a walk. All my videography and photography will be on this camera. So I'm not going to faff about. I've got no drones. So if, you know, it's still a leisurely walk. So this is just an absolutely beautiful tree, and if you look, we've got some really nice clouds in the background as well, so this should be a cracker. I quite like the way the cottage is off in the background as well. I think that's a beautiful scene. That tree there with the horses in the background, cottage in the background, clouds, lovely white clouds against the blue sky. The only thing I don't really like is the fact that there's no light on the tree, but I think maybe that'll turn out quite well because we'll have shadow against that blue and white sky. So yeah, it looks good. And then the reason I've taken it from this position and rather than anywhere else is if you move anywhere else you get all this detritus in the background, which is not what you want. It really is amazing how many different ways of improvising a tripod you can find when you haven't brought one. Anyway, one of the other things I'm doing today is I watched, so as part of my camera club they invited this guy in who used to be a BBC photographer and videographer, and he's worked with David Attenborough, and he convinced me that to look up really the sharpness of these lenses, and you'd be surprised. So for everyday shooting, sharpness tends to be about 5.6, so 2 stops above the rating of the lens, so 5.6 for this one. And then for landscapes he recommended that f7ish, f8 was about the right aperture, so that's what I'm trying today. I was really hoping for some snowdrops or wild garlic or something to be poking through, but it's coming, but I think I'm a bit early. So here's a good example of what I was looking for, wide angle. Wide angle, well yeah, it is wide angle, but I didn't mean that, I meant wide open. And we shall see what the bock is like on this particular lens. So I focus on that very first leaf there, 2.8. The sun is shining on it, let's see what that looks like. It's quite nice with the trees blowing out in the background. So, yeah, good. Had a bit of a panic on then. I couldn't remember where to put my shades. Oh dear. Anyway, I don't know about you guys, but unless you do landscape photography for a job or photography for a job, I haven't really been out for a walk like this with my camera for ages, and the slightest hill is killing me, and that's without even my camera bag on my back. So I can't wait to get out again, get to the gym and do all that kind of stuff. So today's a start. I'll be the first to admit, and I think I've said it on several other occasions, that I'm not the best at woodland photography, but I can see images that I like, and I take those. So if you look at this, the sun is lighting up different kinds of parts of the trees. It's got some shadow on the bottom, and I just love the difference. It's, you know, different layers, and I think landscape photography is all about depth. If you can see some kind of depth, then that makes it very, very interesting. There's no obvious subject here, but I don't know, I suppose those two trees would kind of anchor it if we did that. And then the trees in the background are beautiful, so I'm going to take that shot. So when I'm wandering around, I'm just looking for anything that catches my eye, to be honest. And I must stop saying to be honest as well. I look for anything that catches my eye. So whether it's a different shape that I wasn't expecting, whether it's different contrasts or colours that stand out. And that's what I'm looking for, because I think that's what will be most interesting to someone who looks at my photographs. So as I just came around this corner there, I saw this bowl, which is you know, front and centre there. And it just looks strange, and obviously it's been chopped off at the top. But if you put the depth of field back to, you know, wide open, you get rid of all this stuff at the back, and you get this in the foreground with the tree in the background, and then some semblance of woodland in the background. And also, because I didn't want to get the rubbish around the outside, I turned it on its side. So, you know, that's kind of a photograph that would adorn someone's stairs or something like that. So, you never know. So one thing I've learnt through doing a number of competitions is that landscape photographs on their own don't particularly cut it very well. So I'm always looking for someone to add a bit extra to my shot. So that guy that just walked past me, I waited, hung back a little bit and made sure he didn't think I was some kind of weirdo, and then just shot him in the centre of the path as I was going down here. And it just adds that extra something to it. It doesn't stop it being a landscape photograph, but it does make it a little bit more interesting. And people say, who's that guy? You know, is he related? Is it you? Is it a selfie? Where's he going? Just adds a few more seconds to the interest in the photograph. So during the lockdown, I spent a long time going through back catalogues of my images, and you know, reminding myself that there are other things I can do with my photography other than just shoot it at f11. I'm doing a foreground and a background, and I've just tried that again here. So ICM is something I tried briefly, but I'm going to use it today as well, and I'll just take a shot here. So to enable you to do it, you need to get a slow enough shutter speed. There's no point doing it at 2,000 of a second, you won't get enough chance. So you can drop the ISO down as low as it'll possibly go whack up right up to f22, so it gives you, I think I had about 1/6 of a second, then it just gives you enough time to go whoop as you're taking the shot. And you can either go straight up and down, you can go sideways, you can try and get a swirl in if you want. And yeah, I've just I've spent some time looking at ICM shots, and they are quite nice, to be honest. So something else to add to your portfolio. You never know what you're going to see when you're out on one of these shots. So those two guys were quite fun and let me shoot as they went past. The guy at the back said he'd rather have a horse than a bike. But, they're now part of one of my shots. Thank you, gents. So hopefully you'll see today, my intention going forward is to shake it up. So although as much as I've disliked the lockdown and not being able to get out with my camera, it's given me enough time to self-reflect. And I think I was just doing, stuck in the same genre, I was doing the same things. And it was, yeah, maybe this has been good. I'm going to do wide open shots. I'm still going to do the landscape F11s and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to put more people, animals in my shots. I'm going to try some more ICM, and yeah, just as many different things as I can. So I hope you stick with me, because it should be fun. It should be. You can come with me on the journey, and you'll see. And you know what I'm like. I'll show you my crap as well as my good. So. Things that don't work. I've tried Astro before. That really didn't work. But I'm going to try that again as well. So yeah, stick with me. I'm not one of these vloggers who sits in my office and says, "Here's 7 great ways to improve your contrast" and all that kind of malarkey. I'm gonna get out there with my camera and take shots. I think that's what landscape photography is about, not preaching to the masses about how you feel and what you think the best thing to do with your camera is, because you can go on a course, or there's 3 million other YouTubers out there who'll tell you which f-stop to use and which shutter speed to use and all that stuff. So my intention is to get out once I can. I've already got quite a few places planned, so hopefully come the end of March, April, whenever it is, we can get out and go and see some interesting places rather than my back doorstep. So as I was walking down the path, I saw off to the left hand side, this seems to be a quarry, I guess, and I thought I'll go and have a look, see what I can see. I always find it quite difficult to put something like this into perspective. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, 60 feet high, something like that. Well, there's no shot there at all. But then caught my eye, shining in the sunshine, with these old wispy, I don't even know what they are, seed pods, flowers, you tell me, I don't know what they are, but they're backlit by the sun, and if you climb up this slope here, which is what I did, you can get great separation and then shoot with that with the quarry wall in the background. How lovely is that? Just out of nothing, just on a chance, 20 step to the side, right off the path. So. Yeah, one of the other things that I'm going to try on the channel is minimalism. I'm conscious that I take shots that are busy, that they look interesting but they're really busy. So one of the other things, and this is one of them, I'm going to take more minimalist shots. earth is going on here? It's like green lollipops sticking out of the ground. So as I walk past, the sun was shining on them, which it's not now, but it was when I took the photograph. And they're just sticking right about the ground. And I'm down on one knee now, so hopefully I can get back up. But the idea was to get as low as possible with these, and just looks like a tiny forest, so you can see how big they are. Look, there's my hand. So. So as I understand it, this Z7 has inbuilt stabilization down to 5 stops. Now that is about 1/5 of a second there, so at f22, so I can get a sunburst. Let's see how that works out. I know I've talked about this before, and I know a lot of other people talk about it as well, but getting out and exercising the right hand side of your brain, and well, just being outside anyway, really, it's just such a boost. You know, I don't know what kind of boost it is, but it's endorphin or whatever it is, but you can just feel yourself feeling lighter. So when you're stuck indoors, you get grumpy and naggy and everything's a pain. As soon as you're outside for an hour or so, it's just, you can feel it. It's just like a weight coming off top of your head. So absolutely recommend getting out, even if you're shooting photographs of your feet. It doesn't really matter, but just get out when you can, obviously. So I do like to do the odd quirky shot as well, and this shot just caught my eye here. So we've got a private drive sign up there, and then the path goes off to who knows where, and it's made better obviously by the sun catching the side of the trees as well. So I think in post I'll darken that down and just bring the highlights out so it looked like a dark foreboding path with that ominous sign. So as I walk along the path, this tree just absolutely caught my eye. So you can see the sunlight is reflecting into the oranges of the leaves, and it was really, really pretty. So shallow depth of field again, I'll take that shot. And then as I was here, I thought, actually I'll try an ICM, and hopefully, if it comes out on the screen the way I've just seen it, it's one of the best ones I've done so far. I did circular movements. It just looks stunning through the viewfinder anyway, but yes, nice. So the sun's gone down behind the hill now, which is a bit of a shame. And the problem is with that, there is no light. And without any light, there's nothing to see. Really, it's all just the same. And so I'm going to get my skates on and go back down the hill towards the reservoir. Well, that was quite a surprise. Who doesn't love a waterfall? Doesn't matter how big it is. First I just followed my ears. I could hear a thundering noise, and there it was. It was ankle deep in mud and then ankle deep in water, and I'm sure there's splashes all over the lens, but hey, it's a good place to come back to. So the idea today was always to get here around about sundown, so get some reflections, and you'll look at that. It's glassy and it's lit up by the sun and it's reflected, and I don't have a tripod, so panorama I had to go off, but it was all cockeyed, so who knows. Beautiful though it is. Yuck. So that's pretty much it for the day. Hope you enjoyed that. Bit of everything really. So landscape, shallow depth of field, minimalism, ICM, shadows, reflections. I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I hope you did. And remember, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you're not already, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.